What is up, guys? It's Tommy here and welcome to the Liverpool Manchester City Champions League quarter-final preview and prediction video. As you can see, I'm incredibly excited for this game. The last time Liverpool were in the Champions League quarter-finals was almost 10 years ago, in 2009 I think. So we have waited an awfully long time for this special game to come around. What is your prediction for the game and who will go through in the tie? Do you think that Liverpool or Manchester City will qualify for the semi-finals? I think Real Madrid and Bayern Munich will go through, and Barcelona shouldn't have any problems knocking out AS Roma. So this is the most finely balanced tie in the Champions League quarterfinals. And my head says it will be Man City who goes through, but my heart says it will be Liverpool. But Liverpool and Man City have injury problems, and who makes less mistakes will be the key. And I will look at the tactical battle between the two sides and what could decide who wins this game. But this will be a mouth-watering tie and mouth-watering two games. Manchester City beat Liverpool 5-0 at the Etihad in the first game between these two teams in this season, but the second game at Anfield, Liverpool ran out 4-3 winners in a pulsating, one of the best games of the season that was. And if there is one team who can really hurt Manchester City, it's Liverpool. And Guardiola himself admitted in his pre-match press conference that Liverpool like the way Manchester City play, because Man City leave a space behind their midfield. And I think Liverpool also leave a lot of space behind their midfield when they attack. So there could be a lot of goals here, because both teams, attacking wise, I think they are the two best teams in England in terms of playing style, in terms of entertainment. Both teams scored an insane amount of goals. Liverpool scored 75 goals in the Premier League so far. Manchester City 88 goals. And Liverpool are the highest scoring team in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. But Liverpool have a lot of injuries. They are without Joe Gomez, Ragnar Klavan, Joel Matip, Emre Can, Ben Woodburn and Adam Lallana. Our defense will be probably Van Dijk and Lovren, and I'm really nervous about Lovren going up against the Manchester City attack. But the other good news is that Agüero hasn't travelled for the game. Agüero is still out injured, so it will be Gabriel Jesus, who is also a very good striker, who will start the game instead of Agüero. Matip is set to undergo thigh surgery. Emre Can has failed to recover from a back injury, so picking the right starting lineup is very important for Jurgen Klopp. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will be the right back, because Joe Gomez is not fit yet, and Nathan Clyne is an option, but Nathan Clyne hasn't started a game of football, and he has the fitness, Jurgen Klopp said, but he doesn't have the football rhythm, and in this game it will be vital. And I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will be a target for the Manchester City attack. And rightfully so, because Alexander-Arnold looked shaky against Wilfried Zaha in the Crystal Palace game. He looked a little bit shaky against Marcus Rashford at Old Trafford. But don't forget, Alexander-Arnold is still a very young player. He's learning the game as he's playing for Liverpool's first team. But if I were Guardiola, and I'm sure that Guardiola will you know, study in depth Liverpool's weaknesses. If I were Guardiola, I will be honest, I would tell Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling, either of them, I think it will be Sané who will play on the left wing, to go at Alexander-Arnold, to take him on at every opportunity. So that will be one of the great tactical battles, because Van Dijk or Lovren, whoever will be closer to Alexander-Arnold, will have to help him. And also the midfielder who will play ahead of Alexander-Arnold, potentially Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Gini Wijnaldum. But I will be honest, I would play James Milner in this game and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain either side of Jordan Henderson, because Gini Wijnaldum is really out of form. He hasn't played well in quite a lot of games in a row. The front three, it will be Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino, no question about it. And I think the defense will be Andrew Robertson, who is playing in the form of his life, Lovren, Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold. But it will be vital that James Milner tracks back and helps Alexander-Arnold out against Leroy Sané, because if Sané has a free run at Alexander-Arnold, it will be very, very difficult for him, I mean Alexander-Arnold, to contain him for the full 90 minutes. And if Alexander-Arnold gets a yellow card early on, then it will be even more difficult, because then he won't be able to really foul Leroy Sané if he has no other option. The last 5 games, amazingly, I didn't know this. Did you know this, guys? The last 5 Liverpool-Man City games ended in all of those games ended in Liverpool wins. And they were close games apart from the March 2nd, 2016 game where we won 3-0. All the other games were just by 1 goal. But Manchester City have only won once at Anfield since 1981. That's almost 40 years. It's 37 years, I think. In 37 years of football, Manchester City have only won once at Anfield. But of course, Man City, since that takeover by you know, their owners, they are a completely different club, completely different animal, and they are hands down the best club in England. And they will win the Premier League by a country mile. They could win the Premier League by the most points ever, by the most goals scored ever. And this is a very, very special Manchester City side. So Liverpool have to be in their best possible form to beat Manchester City. And I would take any victory. I would take any victory, even a 4-3 victory, I would take it, because Liverpool's defense, I just don't have a lot of confidence in us keeping a clean sheet against the Man City side, who scored the most goals in English football this season. But it will be very, very important who will score the first goal, because if Liverpool can score the first goal, we can sit back a little bit and play on the counter-attack. But if Man City score the first goal, Liverpool have to come out, and we might leave even more space behind our midfielders. And you know that Lovren one-on-one is not the best defender in the world. What I'm really hoping for is that Salah, Firmino and Mane will be in top form. We had a little bit of an off day against Crystal Palace, but the mark of a good team is that even while we didn't play at our best level, we still managed to win the game against Crystal Palace. And it wasn't a very good performance, I'm not gonna lie. In the second half it was a very even game. The first half Liverpool dominated, the second half Crystal Palace could have scored 1 or 2 goals when the game was 1-1. Benteke made 2 absolute sitters, and I was already thinking about the Manchester City game when I was watching the Crystal Palace game, and I thought to myself, if we play like this against Man City, we won't stand a chance, because Man City have much better players than Crystal Palace. And if we present Man City with the kind of chances that we presented Crystal Palace and Christian Benteke in particular, Man City will ruthlessly punish any defensive mistake. So I'm just a little bit struggling to believe that Liverpool will be able to produce 2 absolutely perfect performances against Manchester City to go through, because I think that's what's needed. Manchester City, in my honest opinion, this season they are on the same level as Real Madrid, Barcelona and Bayern Munich. And those 3 teams will be most likely the other 3 teams in the Champions League semi-finals, and that's no coincidence. They are, in my opinion, the 3 main contenders. And Liverpool have to do something really, really special to knock Manchester City out, because even if we beat them at Anfield by 1 or 2 goals, Man City will do everything at the Etihad to go through. And it's a little bit of a disadvantage that the second leg is at the Etihad, but a big factor will be the fans. So if you are watching this game at Anfield. If you are watching this video before you are going to Anfield, sing your hearts out. Let's make a really special atmosphere. Liverpool fans have been waiting for almost 10 years for a Champions League quarter-final, and European nights at Anfield are like no other. All the players who played as an opposition player at Anfield in a Champions League quarter-final or semi-final, they know that the crowd can make a massive difference. And whoever disregards this makes a big mistake. Because I remember Nagelsmann, the Hoffenheim manager, saying that Anfield is not so special and his players won't be affected by the crowd. But after the game, where Liverpool won 4-2, I think, against Hoffenheim in the second leg, Nagelsmann admitted that their players were affected by the Anfield crowd. Even champions like Chelsea, who came to Anfield twice in 2005 and 2007, at both games the Chelsea players admitted that the cauldron of noise, the fans, that the whole stadium is dressed in red, and it's just a wave and wave after wave after wave of chants and singing and loud screams and noises. Even the Chelsea players, who are one of the best Premier League teams in the history of the Premier League, and they won the league a few days before the second leg, even they were affected really big time by the Anfield crowd. So this is why I think it levels the playing field. Manchester City on paper have the better squad, they have the better starting 11, but Liverpool have the Anfield crowd, which is nothing like the Manchester City crowd. And this is where we have to take advantage. We have to take advantage of the first leg being at home. And if we want to go through, we just must beat Manchester City. So come on Liverpool, let's do it! I will do Fanzone live reactions for this game. So pumped and so excited. I waited so many years for a game like this. Let's do it Liverpool, come on, let's beat Manchester City and let's go to the Champions League semi-finals. And who knows, anything can happen. The Anfield crowd can make even the biggest teams shaking in their legs. So let's make it happen, guys. Thanks for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this preview and prediction video. See you later, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye.